McLean is currently awaiting his fate over a tackle that broke the neck of Alex McKinnon. SBS reporter Sam Eichen is at the NRL Judiciary in Sydney. And Sam, what's the latest?
Well, Tomo, the hearing is still going on behind closed doors. The panel in charge of the judiciary tonight is Chris McKenna, Mal Cochran and Bob Lidner, some very big names in the NRL world there, and they face a very difficult challenge tonight. This is arguably one of the most difficult judiciary processes that they have had to go through so far. Jordan McLean is said to be absolutely devastated after his role in this particular tackle. He was the third person in, and he's charged with a dangerous throw. He's pleaded not guilty. The first part of the hearing is going ahead now. That's to work out whether or not he's guilty or not guilty. If he's found not guilty, then that's the end of it. If he is found guilty, then they go through a second process to work out an appropriate penalty, which would of course be a lengthy penalty, a lengthy suspension rather, in this particular case. Now, legal experts say that there is the possibility the McKenna family could bring legal action against the NRL regardless of tonight's decision.
Well, the three-man tackle is sanctioned by the NRL, so in effect it's promoted. If the three-man tackle creates a risk to the safety of players, then there is the potential for a legal liability to the NRL.
Now, Alex McKinnon is still in the Alfred Hospital in Melbourne, and his condition is still critical but stable. We don't yet know exactly what the permanent injuries he faces are, but they will be extensive. Tomo?
Thanks very much, Sam Eichen there at the NRL Judiciary. Meanwhile, Cronulla has officially re-signed suspended coach Shane Flanagan to a new 3-year contract that'll keep him at the NRL club until the end of 2017. Flanagan is currently serving a 1-year ban over governance issues surrounding the Sharks' controversial supplements program from 2011. The first of the quarter-finals in the UEFA Champions League remained evenly poised following this morning's first legs. Barcelona escaped with a 1-1 draw after being held by Atletico Madrid, while Manchester United travels to Munich for next week's return leg after sharing the spoils with Bayern. In a season of underperforming, the moment of truth had arrived for Manchester United. An improved showing was demanded by the Old Trafford faithful, and they weren't disappointed. United threw everything at their guests. Keepers at both ends forced to produce their best. The deadlock was eventually broken in a blink of an eye.
Manchester United get the goal they dreamed of. They have taken the lead against the champions of Europe.
Approval also in the stands from United's legendary former coach. Despite their dogged determination, the Champions League holders' mesmerising response was clinical and typical of German football's newly crowned champion.
Schweinsteiger, who finds the back of the net.
Fabian Schweinsteiger's goal was blotted by a costly dismissal for next week's return leg.
He's off.
The 1-1 draw prompted mixed reactions from both coaches.
It's a tough tie, but we all believe that we've got a great chance in the competition. We really do. Our best football's been in this competition, and we'll need to show our best football when we go to Bayern next week.
Atletico Madrid will return home brimming with confidence. The all-Spanish matchup came to life with what many have described as the goal of the tournament. Diego's stunning strike could prove decisive, although Barcelona also has the firepower to make a difference. Another touch of brilliance will be required for next week's showdown in Madrid. And Live Champions League coverage continues tomorrow morning here on SBS 1. It gets underway from 5:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time for the quarter-final showdown between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Well, there's been mixed fortunes for A-League sides at the Asian Champions League. Central Coast's hopes of advancing to the knockout phase for a second successive season received a boost with a 1-0 win over Beijing Guoan. Marcel Sipes' 74th minute volley in Gosford, lifting the Mariners from 4th to 1st place in Group F. The Wanderers, however, blew a 1-goal lead from Labino Haliti to go down 2-1 away to Kawasaki Frontale. The result moves the Japanese level on points in second place with Western Sydney with 2 rounds remaining. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Australia's under-20 coach Paul Okon says next year's Asian Cup will be a key yardstick for Socceroos boss Ange Postecoglou. Speaking at today's ticketing announcement, Okon believes hosting the tournament should provide a significant advantage.
I know Ange Postecoglou will only have one thing in his mind, and that's to win it. Anything less for him, he'll deem as not being good enough.
And Mark Milligan and Tom Rogic have unveiled the Socceroos alternate strip ahead of this year's World Cup. The Navy outfit sees a continuation of the kit used in previous campaigns. The Socceroos' final game before heading to Brazil is against South Africa on May 26. In AFL news, Greater Western Sydney's number 2 draft pick Josh Kelly is one of 4 players to extend their contracts with the Giants. Kelly, who made his AFL debut in Saturday's loss to St Kilda, will remain with the club until the end of 2017.